Okay, so the recording is started. So suppose the spot price, right? Spot price of any asset. This is S0. I'm talking about the spot price at t is equal to 0. Right. So if I'm writing it as an ST, it means that spot price at time t, capital T, right? So sometimes we can write K, but let's start writing it FT is the forward contract price at maturity capital T, right? And R is the risk-free interest rate. Let's assume that this is continuous compounding. So let's say that we try to enter into the long forward. And we try to enter into the short forward. In both ways, we will try to understand. So long forward means, what do you mean by the long forward? Yes. What do you mean by the long forward?
So we are thinking of buying the futures contracts.
Right. So we are buying the asset at capital T. Yes or no? And when we say that it's short forward, we are selling at capital T. So we will try to understand taking the short position and or long position with respect to what? If with respect to the forward contract, it means that if we are having a long forward, we are buying at capital T, and if it is a short forward, we are selling at capital T. Right. So when we are buying at capital T, so what could be the cash flow at T is equal to 0? When we are buying at capital T, right? So what we do is T is equal to 0, try to understand, and T is equal to, let's say, capital T. These would be the cash flow. So what we did is, for buying at capital T, we need to have some money. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
so
sir.
we did the short selling at T is equal to 0 to generate the money. So when we did the short selling, it means that we borrowed the asset and we sold it. So the cash flow generated would be S0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
we deposit this one into the bank. So my net value here is 0. Right? Let's see.
Yes, sir.
At expiry, we had to buy. So we are buying the asset and returning it back to the person from where we have borrowed it. So when we are buying the asset, we are paying the forward price, which is FT, and we get a return from the bank minus FT, which is S0 e to the power RT. Right? So net value here would be all of you agree?
Yes, sir.
So now let's try to understand this, what we mean by the no arbitrage. So my value of my portfolio at T is equal to 0 was 0, because if you look here, the net value of my portfolio is 0.
Yes, sir.
Right. So the no arbitrage says that, right, if the value of the portfolio is 0 at any time, it should be 0 in the future also, and it should have been 0 in the past also. Correct? Right. So I'm just writing it here so that you can understand this. If value of the portfolio is 0, this means that to satisfy no arbitrage condition, its value should remain 0. Right? So we can say that whether it is VT or V capital T at any time between 0 to capital T we are taking it, the value should be equal to 0. So if I equate this one as equal to 0, I will get that the forward price should be same as if it is growing with the risk-free interest rate. Right? Please remember this. This part, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now we go on to the second part where we are taking the short position. It means that we are selling at capital T. Right? So we would have again two different period and the cash flow. Because we are selling it at T is equal to 0, we are assuming that we have bought the asset, right, at T is equal to 0 by taking a loan. So again my value is 0. So value at T is equal to 0 is again 0. Now because we have bought it, we are selling it as a price which is the forward one, and we have taken a loan, so we have to return back this much amount of money, which is interest along with the principal amount. Right? Because the value at T is equal to 0 was 0, it means that we can also say that this should also be equal to 0 for no arbitrage condition, and the forward price comes out to be the same. So you can think of whether we are having a long forward or short forward. If we discard anything else, any other transaction cost, the forward price should be this much. Right? So did you get this point?
Yes, sir.
Please raise your hand if you have understood this. So we are simply saying that in two, same thing in a two different perspective, is that if at T is equal to 0, if we have not invested anything, then we should not be gaining anything at expiry, or in other way around, right? No value can be generated from 0, right? So if at any point of time the value of the portfolio is 0, correct, it should remain 0 from the no arbitrage condition. Otherwise, if let's say that if from 0, if it has moved to some other quantity, let's say 1 or 2, even 1 or 2, you can say that you can generate infinite out of it. Theoretically, because I mean practically you won't have infinite number of contracts. Okay, can I move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Everybody, can I move ahead? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so before I draw the payoff diagram for which we have next, we need to draw the payoff diagram for this. But before this one, let's say that we have a different condition in a scenario. Let's say that we have the, what if borrowing and lending interest rate are different. Let's try to explore this situation. So let's say that we have an asset whose current price, we keep it as a simple 100, right? Let's say time is equal to 1 year, right? And let's say I'm writing it as RB for 1 year. Interest rate for borrowing, it means that you have borrowed from the bank is 7%. It's and if you are lending it to the bank or depositing into the bank, the interest rate is 6%. So because the now borrowing and lending or depositing interest rate is different, can you tell me how this will affect the bond price? So from I'm marking it as a star, go back into the above condition. What interest rate here I should apply? What interest rate should I apply here in this equation?
RD, sir, interest rate for depositing.
Yes, so I will apply here RD, and what interest rate I should apply here?
RB.
R?
B.
B. Let's
B,
try.
sir.
Correct, borrowing one. So if I apply these two, right, in one way I can get that one, the price should be can you calculate this with the given value? Because I missed my calculator, so can you please calculate and tell me the value?
So
Sir,
107.
RB is 10. Yeah, okay, you go.
Yeah. So with respect to RB, it's 107.25, and the next one is 106.18.
So now what I can talk about this and what I can say. I can say that no arbitrage if forward price is lying between these two. Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I didn't understand, sir. Like how no arbitrage will be there if.
Okay, now if let's say that when you can have a profit, because the borrowing in the previous case we have simply said that borrowing and lending interest rate are same. So Akshat, for answering your question, let's try to see this the previous day which we talked about, right? I'm just going into that one. If the current stock price is 120, let's say that interest rate is 5% and time period is 1 year, correct? So now according to
Yes,
me,
sir.
the prices should be, forward price should be 120 e to the power 0.05.
Yes, sir.
Right. So let's assume that it is 130. Let's assume that. So according to me, it is overpriced. So what do you do with the overpriced one? If an asset is overpriced, what do you do? You sell.
We will sell. Yes, sir. Sell.
Yes. So when you are selling an asset, right, it means that you are actually entering into the short position in the forward contract.
Yes, sir. Correct.
So what we did here, we did that you are taking a long position of the asset and taking the short position in the forward contract, right? At different time t is equal
Yes,
to
sir.
0. Right. So you try to see the cash flow here. T is equal to 0. We bought the asset and we borrow. So the net value was 0. Right?
Yes, sir.
At t is equal to 1, it was 130 because we got the forward price and we returned back to the bank. It was, so this is the amount which we got, which is an arbitrage kind of thing.
Yes,
Similarly,
sir. Agree, sir.
Similarly, if it is 110, we will take the opposite position. So where we are buying, we will be doing the short selling. Where we are borrowing, we will do the deposit. So again, my net investment is 0. And looking at into this one, we got an arbitrage 16.15. Right?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting this, Akshat?
Yes, sir.
Because-
Yes, sir. I'm getting, sir.
Because 110 is an underpriced one. So if it is underpriced, we buy. Right?
Yes, sir.
So looking into this one again, correct, because they in that condition here also we have assumed that the borrowing and lending interest are same. If it is not, then we will get a range of price, and we can only have a arbitrage condition when the prices is either lower than this or greater than this. Because when we are saying that okay, we will borrow unless until my price is more than 7%. Do you understand that one? Unless and until if my forward price is greater than, there is no point I should borrow and buy this.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Right, because this is the return you have to pay to the bank, and this is what is the return from the forward one. So if the forward one is not going
Yes,
to
sir.
give you more than 7%, right, there is no point buying and selling at expiry. Similarly,
Yes, sir.
if it is not less than 6%, there is no point, to short sell it and earn from the risk-free interest rate.
Yes, sir. Got it,
Right.
sir.
So the price should be in this range. If it is the price is in this range, you will not have any arbitrage condition. So there are two things. If we assume that the borrowing and lending interest rate are same, you will have a point solution. Where if we assume that borrowing and lending interest rate are not same, then you will have a range of solution. Anything between these two will not going to give you any arbitrage. Okay, how many of you have understood this?
Sir, what if FT is 107 and we are short selling it?
Let's try. Let's try. You put it here. You put it here. All those values which you are looking for, 107. You try and put it there. Correct. So what you are saying that we are doing the short selling. So I will just say that we are able to get 100. Yes. Because of the short selling. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
and deposit it into the bank. Correct. Yes, sir. Right. When we have deposited into the bank, my return would be this much. And
Yes,
I have to pay back 107 because I have to buy now. So this is again a negative quantity. If I try to return this one, if I try to reverse this one, and I say that this is now, I write it with the red pen, this is now negative and this is positive, then in that case, you will have an interest rate with respect to the 7%.
Yeah.
So, who asked this question? Paras.
That's far.
Okay, so now you got it.
Sir, but arbitrage only is for positive return or it's for loss as well? We are incurring a loss there, I guess.
No, no. What we do, if you are assuming that it to be a loss, correct? What we do, we try to change the position. Where we are buying, we will start selling. We will so that we can have a positive cash flow. But in this case, what is happening that if you are borrowing from the bank, here what you did is you deposit it in the bank. So your return was 6%. But once you start borrowing, the interest rate will be 7%. So the cash flow will change depending upon whether you are borrowing or lending. So reversing your condition will not give you an arbitrage if it is lying between these in this range.
Sir, but it's giving loss and negative profit in all the cases, in both the cases.
Which one?
Sir, in this one, even if we buy or sell, or if we change the position, in both the cases, we are at loss. The negative outcome is there, right?
Which one?
So, like we are short selling it, then also it is negative, and if we are taking a long position, then also it's negative.
Then the price is 107.
Yeah. So in that case, we will not buy or sell.
I'm saying that this forward price because in the for simplicity
go into the
no
contract.
arbitrage. Please try to understand. For no arbitrage, we have assumed that the borrowing and lending interest rates are different. Correct? Right. It itself is this is a real world scenario where we assume the transaction cost or commission kind of things. If in ideal world we assume that the borrowing and lending interest rate two banks have a different one, then what is happening is this price is basically now governed by we are assuming it to be 107. We are assuming it to be 107 at expiry. All right, but let's try to understand the payoff. This is again and something which will help you to understand what do you mean by the payoff. So at expiry or at maturity, let's try to draw this one. Correct? So this will help you to understand. Suppose we have entered into the long forward. What we are doing it? We are buying the asset at t is equal to expiry. Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, this is my forward price. Let's say that this could be 107 or 106.5 lying in between. Correct? Now, what you do when you enter into when you want to buy an asset, the x-axis is basically talking about anticipated spot price at time t. Correct? The x-axis is talking about there would be from S0, it will move, and somewhere at t, what this should have been the spot price. So we are anticipating what should be the spot price at expiry. Paras.
Yes, sir.
So my payoff would look like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Why my payoff? If it is, I'm taking a long position. Why this is my payoff? So suppose you have entered into the long forward condition position, you are buying an asset, you're right, at a price FT. So now you have an asset where you are buying at this price, but you have an option to sell it at spot price. Yes or no? You are buying at expiry. So now when you have bought at capital T, now you can sell it at the capital T. Yes or no?
Yes,
Sir. Yeah.
Right. So profit would be what is the selling price or spot price at capital T and what was the forward price. So if you assume that an asset is going to its spot price is going to increase or its price is going to increase in the future, you can enter into the long forward contract. So although here what we are doing we are comparing it with the interest rate only, risk free interest rate, but one thing we are forgetting here is that this asset, right, is basically can have a different value at capital T. Right, it follows some kind of a stochastic manner, and capital T, the value could be different. So if you are anticipating the price would be, let's say that higher than whatever is the forward contract price today, in that case if you enter into the long forward, this is your payoff. How many of you have understood this part?
Sir, what is the y-axis here?
Y-axis is profit, I can say. So this is the equation of this line.
So sir, basically like at s equal to t, sir, we will be selling in case of long forward, and we will also calculate.
I
Yeah,
am
please.
saying that in the long forward, if you have entered into the long forward, correct?
Yes, sir.
If you have entered into the long forward, there are two things which you can understand. If you have entered into the long forward, then you already have an asset,
Yes, sir.
right? Asset at capital T, because you bought it as capital T. Now you can sell it,
Yes. Yes, sir.
right? You can sell it when you are selling it, and this is the selling price and this is the buying price. In that case, what would have been the profit? Selling price minus the buying price.
Yes, sir.
So it should be ST minus FT. Now, if I understood it from the short selling perspective, correct? There were two things. What would have been done is that either you would have bought it with respect to FT, correct? Short selling,
Yes,
if instead of this, that you directly buying it, if I say that you have done the short selling at T is equal to 0, so for returning it, you need to buy at capital T.
yes, sir.
Right. If you are buying at capital T, you could have entered into the long forward, or you could have bought it from the spot one. These two things you could have done. Right. Either
Sir, can you please repeat, sir?
when you have entered into the short selling at T is equal to 0, right?
Yes, sir.
Now you did something with that money, so we are not accounting it. Now you have to return it at expiry, the asset. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. That's what we are doing, short selling. We have to sell that.
Here we have not assumed any short selling in the first part, and this second part we are assuming the short selling. So short selling means that at expiry we have to return the asset.
Yes, sir.
To return the asset we need to buy.
Yes, sir.
So now this buying option can be from the two option. One, we would have entered into the forward contract, and this would have been the price where I would have bought the asset.
Yes, sir.
And second would have been that I would have not entered into any forward contract. Rather, at capital T, I would have bought the asset.
Yes, sir.
Right. How much saving you would have done if if you would have entered into the forward contract can be given by this line.
Okay.
So,
Yes, sir.
right, this line shows that how much saving you could have done by entering into the forward contract. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So both ways you can understand that this would be the payoff diagram. One is that you have nothing, you do not have any cash flow, even zero. I mean, not, you just waited for the expiry. At expiry, first part, what you did, you bought at FT and you sold at whatever it was the market price at that expiry. So this is the payoff diagram you have got. Second case, you can assume, but we are doing it for no arbitrage, that you have done the short selling. So you have two options, buying from the forward contract or buying at the spot price at the expiry. So this is the amount which you could have saved by entering into the forward contract. So the forward contract is basically giving you this much of payoff. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Paras, is this giving you the answer of your question?
Sir, I still have one question.
Mhm.
Like no arbitrage is like creating some positive profit out of zero investment.
No arbitrage means that if
All opposite of that. Okay.
huh?
No arbitrage means we cannot create a positive profit from zero investment, right?
Yes. I mean,
So what if with zero investment?
simply also we say that correct is that that if the value of the portfolio is zero at any point, it should remain zero. But in case you are saying it as that we are getting a negative portfolio, because our assumption here is wrong. What assumption here is that we are borrowing and lending interest rate are different. Right, this is something which happens because bank is taking a commission. Am I right?
Okay, yeah. For giving loans, we are taking commission.
So here, one thing you can understand that when we are doing it, we are taking bank is taking a commission. So if I remove this part, then my net value should be zero. But the amount of negative, you are being able to generate because of the commission amount, which has been charged by the institute or the bank or whoever is the governing body. Right. So in the no arbitrage condition, we generally assume that there is no transaction and other cost. If I assume the transaction cost, right, then you will have some, negative cost generated. So think about it. If you are buying and selling, correct, an asset, correct, from no arbitrage condition. So you bought it at t is equal to 0 and you sell, so, you are trying to sell it at t is equal to 5. Assuming that even the price remains same, correct, from the no arbitrage condition, you should be selling it at the same price. But because the platform you are using for buying and selling, they charge you some commission, so your value would become negative. So if I do not assume this is that there is a commission charges, then the value should be 0. Did you get my point, Paras, now?
Okay, so considering the situation, if FT is anything between the lower bound and the upper bound, we should not go into the contract.
No. The forward contract price should be this much. Again, I am telling it, you are misleading from this perspective that we are trying to calculate buying, and this should be the cash flow we are trying to calculate for identifying what should be the price of the forward contract. But when you enter into the forward contract from an investment perspective, Paras, can you tell me? You enter into the forward contract only when you are anticipating that the price would not only increase by 7%, but rather than it will increase by more than 7% in this case. Right, you are anticipating it might not happen. It can happen that the price has dropped or the price has increased. Right. So investment depend upon you are thinking that the spot price could be 110. That's your calculation, your assumption. That's why entering into the forward contract. But that again is a probabilistic value. It could be 102 also with some probability. So keep these two aside. One, we are trying to find out what should be the forward contract price, because what we have done is we are looking from the no arbitrage principle, but there could in the market there is one more factor, which is supply and demand. Right, that also can increase or decrease the price, which we are not dealing with. Paras?
Yes, sir, got it now. Yeah, it's clear now.
So this was the pair for the long forward. Let's try to draw the pair for the short forward. So what should have been in the short forward? What you do?
You will sell at 10T.
You sell at capital T, right? So you will be able to generate this much, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct. And instead of selling at using the forward contract, if you are selling at spot price, so you are not entering into the forward contract. Rather than what you are doing is you are waiting till capital T time and you are directly selling into the market. So this would have been the cash flow. Akshat, there are two things. This,
Yes, sir.
when you have entered into the forward contract, this is the amount which you got while selling. And this is when you have not entered into the forward contract, rather you have waited for the time when it has reached to capital T, whatever is the spot price at that time, this would have been the money you would have got.
So, sir, like in case of forward contract, we at T equal to 0 bought the thing. While in case of at S of T, sir, like we are like buying anything at T equal to 0 or not? Like then how the difference will create, sir?
I didn't get your question. Can you please?
Sir, like F of T, sir, is a forward contract. So for forward contract, we actually buy, because in short selling, like we actually first buy the asset at T equal to 0, and then
Suppose,
yeah.
Akshat, you have an asset because you are selling, you should have an asset. Correct? You would have
Yes,
bought
sir.
it any time between 0 to capital T. We would have bought it any time.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Now we are looking at the expiry. When you want to sell it, you can sell it on the spot. There are two things which can happen. You can sell it on the spot. So this is the amount you would have got, ST.
Yes, sir.
And if you would have entered into the forward contract to sell it, this is the amount you would have got it.
Yes, sir.
So looking into that, what would have been the benefit by entering into in the short forward? This would be the benefit.
Yes, sir.
Think about it. If the market price at expiry is less than the forward price, you are happy, because if you have gone into the market and sell it, you would have been able to generate less money, but now using the forward, you are able to generate the higher money. If the spot price at expiry is more as compared to the forward price, right? Now if you would have sell it into the market, you would have been generated more money as compared to the forward contract. So it will be just opposite of this, and I can simply draw like this. Sorry. So this is from the short forward. And this is from the long forward. Look, this one, please let me know if you have understood. Please raise your hand if you have understood this one. Correct. I guess you can scroll your OneNote and look at this cash flow and let me know if you have any doubt. Great. So one more thing with the red mark, I'm just trying to understand. When you enter into the long forward, what does this mean? Is that you are buying. You need an asset at capital expiry and you are buying. You would be very happy. From the long forward perspective if the market, I mean asset price at expiry is more than the contract price. But this is the area of the risk. What if suddenly the price has dropped? So if you would have not entered into the long forward, right? Correct? You could have bought at a lower price rather than whatever is the contract price now. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Similarly, for the short forward, what is happening is that if the market price at the expiry is more than the contract price, this is the area of the risk where you have where you will have something, right, a negative one. You could, if you would have sold it into the market, you would have generated the larger amount as compared to the contract price. So this is one area of risk related with the long forward, and this is one area of the risk, half of the risk, when it is related with the short form. Correct. So we this is the where the options have been created. We'll talk about next, but let's try to understand that okay, long forward, one half is there the point where there is a risk, and from the short forward is also one point where it is the risk. One way you are happy, other way you are not. Do you agree? So these are the risk, basically risk part which you can understand from this. Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you have joined late.
No, sir, I was present in the meeting.
Okay, Ashish.
Yes, sir.
But this is the first time I have heard your voice. So I hope you have understood. Next, let's start with the interest rate future. Correct. And there is another one, which is the currency future. Correct. Currency future covers a big thing where we will talk about this. Let's try to understand the interest rate future. Right. So let's say that R01 is the interest rate from t is equal to 0 till t is equal to 1. So we are using some different notation just for you to understand that R01 what it is mean. Let's say we have R02, a different one, which says that what will be the risk-free interest rate from t is equal to 0 till t is equal to 2. So all of them are yearly. Even if it is as continuous compounding, it's an yearly one, interest rate. So if you're depositing anything for 1 year, let's say that X amount, your return will be, in case of it is continuous compounding, the return will be, or let's say that first we start with the simple one. So return would be this much. And for this, if you are investing X, the return would be this much. Correct? Now my question is, what should have been the interest rate R12? This means that I don't need a money right now. I'm anticipating that I required a money at t is equal to 1 for a 1 year. It means that what should be the interest rate which is starting from t is equal to 1 till t is equal to 2. If you have understood this, you can calculate anyone. If it is R23, R34, R14, everything you can calculate. But how from these two we can get this one? Can somebody tell me? Because logically we need to understand what do you mean by the no arbitrage. So logically, can somebody deduct and tell me what should be the value of R12?
1 plus R02 the whole square divided by 1 plus R01.
All right, very good. Can somebody tell me why? Let's try to understand that we have an investment option. So let's say option A and option B. We are putting 1 rupees. We are putting 1 rupees for 2 years. So my return would have been simply correct. Yes or no, Akshat?
Yes, sir.
And rather than doing this, what I will do, I'll invest for 1 year and then for another year. This means that first year, this is the amount I will be getting, and the same amount, if I invest for the 1 more year, this is the interest I will be getting. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct, because both of them are risk-free interest rate. Both of them should generate the same amount of money. If the amount of the money is not the same, we will always have an arbitrage. Do you agree?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Right. So now from this equation, you can actually calculate what should be the value of R12. Right? I will